Amy's new baby tragedy, tears, hospitalization, and heartbreak in Little People, Big World. A shocking new beginning. Amy Roloff, beloved matriarch of the Roloff family and star of Little People, Big World, had always been the heart of the show. After years of raising her children Zach, Jeremy, Molly, and Jacob, and weathering public divorces, remarriages, and family farm disputes, many thought Amy's days of raising babies were behind her. Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel. For Roloff family latest news update, please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon. But life had one more surprise in store. Amy and her husband Chris Merrick shocked fans when they revealed they had begun the process of adopting a baby. It was a dream Amy had carried quietly for years. "I thought my mothering years were over," Amy confessed in an emotional clip filmed for the show. "But Chris and I talked, and I still feel like I have so much love left to give." Chris, his arm wrapped around her, added, "This baby was going to complete us. We didn't expect this chapter, but we were ready." Fans rallied with overwhelming support. Social media lit up with congratulations. For weeks, cameras followed Amy and Chris as they prepared their home, decorating a nursery with soft yellow walls, teddy bear wallpaper, and a rocking chair that Amy said reminded her of the old farmhouse on Roloff Farms. But no one knew the heartbreak that was about to strike. A joy turned to pain. Just days after bringing the baby home, Amy noticed something was wrong. The infant was restless, crying nonstop, and not feeding properly. Despite their efforts, worry grew. Chris recalled, Amy was holding the baby in her arms, pacing the living room, tears streaming down her face. She kept saying, "Something's not right. Chris, something's not right." By midnight, they were rushing to the hospital. Cameras weren't rolling anymore, but witnesses later described a heartbroken Amy clutching the tiny bundle, refusing to let go even as nurses tried to guide her into the emergency wing. Inside, the situation turned critical. Doctors worked tirelessly. Amy sat praying aloud, whispering lullabies, rocking in the stiff hospital chair. But at dawn, the words "no mother by blood" or "adoption ever wants to hear" broke the silence. "We're so sorry, we couldn't save your baby." Amy, hospitalized. The shock overwhelmed her. Amy collapsed on the cold hospital floor. Nurses rushed in, and Chris shouted desperately for help. In the chaos, Amy's blood pressure spiked, and she fainted, striking her head. She was immediately admitted, hooked to monitors, and given sedatives to stabilize her. Chris never left her side. Reporters later revealed that Amy remained hospitalized for 3 days, emotionally and physically drained. Chris described her as broken in a way I'd never seen before. "She kept waking up crying," he recalled. "She'd ask me, 'Why, Chris? Why did God take this baby from us after just giving them to us?' And I didn't have an answer." Chris's tears. Chris Merrick, usually the strong, steady partner, was seen outside the hospital wiping tears from his face. For the first time, fans saw him vulnerable. "I didn't just lose a baby," he told producers quietly. "I lost the joy in Amy's eyes. I've never seen her so empty." According to family friends, Chris broke down multiple times, struggling with guilt that he hadn't been able to protect Amy from this pain. He blamed himself for encouraging her to adopt, one insider revealed. He thought maybe if he hadn't agreed, she wouldn't be hurting this much. Roloff family's reactions. Word spread quickly among the Roloff children. Zach was the first to rush to the hospital with Tori. He hugged his mother tightly and whispered, "We love you, Mom. You're not alone." Jeremy and Audrey posted an Instagram story asking for prayers. Jacob, more private, showed up quietly, sitting at Amy's bedside for hours, holding her hand. Molly sent flowers and a heartfelt letter, reminding Amy that she was still the most loving mother anyone could ask for. Even Matt, Amy's ex-husband, reportedly reached out. Though their relationship had long been strained, sources confirmed he sent her a message saying, "I may not always show it, but I know your heart, Amy. No one deserves this pain." Fans mourn with Amy. The news rocked the Little People, Big World fan community. Thousands flooded social media with condolences. On Reddit threads, Fans shared stories of their own losses, creating a support circle for Amy. "She gave us decades of her life on TV," one fan wrote. "Now we give her our prayers." A vigil was even held outside the hospital by a group of local fans, holding candles and signs reading "We love you, Amy." Chris reportedly stepped outside one evening, tears in his eyes, and thanked them personally, saying goodbye. After being released from the hospital, Amy and Chris held a private farewell ceremony for the baby. Surrounded only by close family, they laid the infant to rest with a tiny blanket Amy had knitted. Amy whispered a prayer, her voice breaking. "You were only with us for a moment, but you'll live in my heart forever." Chris wrapped his arms around her as she sobbed, whispering back, "We'll get through this together." Picking up the pieces. Grief does not vanish overnight. For months, Amy struggled to appear on camera. She canceled public events, stayed quiet on Instagram, and leaned heavily on her faith and therapy. Chris became her rock, though he admitted he too was grieving deeply. "We promised each other we wouldn't let this tear us apart," he said. "But it's hard." The Roloff children made an effort to visit more often, bringing the grandkids to brighten Amy's days. Jackson, Zach's eldest, would climb into her lap and say, "Grandma, don't cry. I love you." Hope after heartbreak. Slowly, Amy began finding her strength again. She shared a vulnerable post on social media months later. "I don't know why things happen the way they do. I don't know why some prayers seem unanswered. But I do know that love carries us through. Thank you to everyone who held me up during the darkest time of my life." Chris smiled beside her, holding her hand in the photo. The couple, though forever changed, had chosen to keep going. A legacy of love. Though the baby's life was short, Amy insisted their story would not be forgotten. She began quietly supporting local charities that helped grieving parents and sick infants. "She wants to turn her pain into purpose," Chris explained. "That's the Amy I fell in love with." In a later season of Little People, Big World, Amy revealed a memory box she kept for the baby, a lock of hair, the hospital wristband, and the tiny blanket. "This little soul may not have stayed," she said through tears, "but they were mine, and that love will never die." Amy Roloff's journey through joy, tragedy, and healing became one of the most emotional chapters in Little People, Big World history. Her loss broke hearts worldwide, but her resilience inspired fans everywhere. She may never fully recover from the grief of losing her baby, but as Amy herself said, "Life isn't about avoiding pain, it's about holding on to love, no matter what."